Hi, this is Dr. Allaire from the University of Houston downtown. In this video breakdown, we're going to take a closer look at science teaching competencies 1 and 2, the first two competencies in Domain A, teaching science. Before we get started, spoiler alert. Please make sure that you have already filled out the first two columns of your KWL 2.0 chart and have answered the discussion prompts. If you haven't, please pause this video and take about 7 to 10 minutes to write down and share what you already know and what you want to learn about competencies 1 and 2. Now that you have filled out your KWL chart, as well as the discussion prompts, let's take a closer look at the first two competencies. As I've mentioned before, competencies 1 and 2 are the first two competencies of the first domain, Domain A, which covers teaching science. I also sometimes refer to this as pedagogy and professional responsibility for science teaching, but most places you will see it written as teaching science. Competency 1 says, the teacher understands how to manage learning activities, tools, and materials, and equipment and technologies to ensure the safety of all students. Competency 2 says the teacher understands the history and nature of science, the process and role of scientific inquiry, and the role of inquiry in science education. Now, there is a lot wrapped up in both of these competencies. For this reason, these competencies, as well as all of the other competencies that we'll cover in this module series, have been broken down into multiple sub-competencies. And that's what we're going to explore now. So starting with science teaching competency number 1. Science teaching competency number 1 says the beginning teacher understands safety regulations and guidelines for science facilities and science instruction, knows procedures for and sources of information regarding the appropriate handling, use, disposal, care, and maintenance of chemicals, materials, specimens, and equipment, knows procedures for the safe handling and ethical care and treatment of organisms and specimens, selects and safely uses appropriate tools, technologies, materials, and equipment needed for instructional activities, understands concepts of precision, accuracy, error with regard to reading and recording numerical data from a scientific instrument, understands how to gather, organize, display, and communicate data in a variety of ways, such as charts, tables, graphs, diagrams, written reports, and oral presentations, understands the international system of measurement, meaning the metric system, and performs unit conversions with measurement systems, including the use of non-standard units. These are the sub-competencies for science teaching competency number 1. The sub-competencies for science teaching competency number 2 are: the beginning teacher understands, plans, designs, and implements instruction that provides opportunities for all students to engage in non-experimental and experimental inquiry investigations, focuses inquiry-based instruction on questions and issues relevant to students, and uses strategies to assist students with generating, refining, and focusing scientific questions and hypotheses, understands and instructs students in the safe and proper use of a variety of grade-appropriate tools, equipment, resources, technology, and techniques to access, gather, store, retrieve, organize, and analyze data, knows how to guide students in making systematic observations and measurements and posing questions to guide investigations, knows how to promote the use of critical thinking skills, logical reasoning, and scientific problem solving to reach conclusions based on evidence, knows how to teach students to develop, analyze, and evaluate different explanations for a given scientific result, including that repeated investigations may increase reliability, knows how to teach students to demonstrate an understanding of potential sources of error in inquiry-based investigation, knows how to teach students to demonstrate an understanding of how to communicate and defend the results of an inquiry-based investigation, understands principles of scientific ethics, understands the roles that logical reasoning, verifiable evidence, prediction, and peer review play in the process of generating and evaluating scientific knowledge, understands the historical development of science, such as cell theory, plate tectonics, the laws of motion, and universal gravity, and technology and the contributions that diverse cultures and individuals of both genders have made to scientific and technological knowledge. Now that we've had a chance to explore competencies 1 and 2, as well as their sub-competencies, it's time to dive a little bit deeper into some of the topics. In this next section, you'll be watching some videos that cover various topics contained within competencies 1 and 2. In order to help you fully engage in the videos, I strongly recommend downloading the Module 1 guided note-taking document. I also recommend having a notebook handy so that way you can take notes about anything that is covered in any of the videos and to write down some questions that you may still have after watching the videos.